Hey everybody, welcome back. We're working on Mollie some more. Hopefully this will be the last bit. Last time I finished her outfit, for the most part. So, let's see, what does it look like I have left? I have to fix her foot over here. This is not finished. And then I need to do the background and tidy up some details on her bow, and it looks like I have not shaded the metal buckles or earrings yet. So, yeah. Let's see what we can do. Trying to limit myself to this being the last stream I work on her, so we'll see. The one last, question is going to be, what am I doing with the background? What do I want to do with the background? So, I guess we will find out. I'm curious if like some blue sky would look nice. So we'll try it out. We're halfway through the week. It's Wednesday. Well, a regular work week? I don't know. I know plenty of people have very interesting schedules, so it's hard to tell. In any case, Wednesday is Wednesday is time to stream, right? It's actually like, when you work for yourself, sometimes it feels like stuff can just kind of blend into a haze. And so like having days I do particular stuff really helps. Like the concept of a Wednesday is conceptualized by streaming. Well, this is how I know it's Wednesday. It's funny, Monday was my 13-year anniversary with my partner, and so we did stuff on Monday, and I rearranged plans that I normally do to Tuesday, so I'm just all scatterbrained. So my week now is back in alignment. I now feel like I know what's going on because we have Mollie here. And I have YouTube there to tell me it is Wednesday. What's been going on this week? It's been a crazy week. Baldur's Gate launched last Friday. That's, I've actually been able to stream that over on Twitch. If you want to check out Skuttz Butts over on Twitch, you can watch that crazy shenanigans. But it's quite enjoyable. You can tell there's passion in the game, and it's been a while since a game's... not a while, but I would say maybe it's on the par with, like, Elden Ring, just as far as, like, the developers actually caring about the game, and it releasing as a pretty solid thing without having to, wait for major patches for it to really function, so... It's really refreshing. I am sad. I will say, biggest complaint, no tabaxis. I wanted to be a tabaxi. For those who don't know, tabaxis are the D&D cat race. So they're just furries. That's all really. So I went for a dragonborn instead. Well, actually, on my stream, we made a tiefling. His name is Peaches. He's my tiefling druid. I feel like we should draw Peaches someday. I should just, like, doodle. I've been missing just, like rapid form drawing stuff, instead of sitting and spending forever polishing stuff. Once in a while, it's really nice to just spit out a bunch of, like, small, fast things. And I just feel like I've been lacking that, so... let's see, we've got side of foot. Where did I want her toes coming in at? That's, I guess, the question. She has 3 toes? Hmm. Alright, let's see. We'll go back in and try to plan this out. So, just drop everything. And her shoes. Alright. And there we go. So, this will help me try to visualize what I have going on here. So it's foot going up this way. And then this basically is supposed to be. So what's going on? One's much taller, it feels like. Don't know, but I'm gonna check it. Let's see. Worst case, I just keep playing around with it till it looks better. But I think this might be right. Should basically just have a peek of this one coming around. So now I have to decide what's up with those. Are they claws? Alright. I think maybe we just gotta move this up higher. Yeah, actually both of these should go up just a bit higher. I think. I should just be able to drag it up. And just move it up like right here maybe. And then that's actually more in line with where the other shoe is, so. That looks a lot better. All right. I will say that's why it's good to not necessarily rush stuff. Like, you can just be like, try to hurry up and finish something in a time span, but it's like, without giving your eyes and your brain a chance to take a break from it, it's harder to see where you've got mistakes or things you might maybe want to clean up or adjust. Like, I wasn't able to see I could see I wasn't happy with the paw and the shoe on the other foot, but I wasn't sure what about it I didn't like. But now I feel like this is way more, more in line with what I wanted it to look like. I just had to kind of give myself a break to come back and be like, oh yeah, there should be a bigger gap here and this should be up higher. Like, I was trying to match this gaps here and it was basically everything was shifted down too far and her feet were very small. So easy enough. I also kind of want to do some sort of lighting, but I'm not sure. Alright, and then I probably want to make sure her earrings... I don't know if her other one would actually show. Would it? Ooh. I'm pretty sure I've determined it will not show because her ear's back here. And it would either show just below her. So if it shows at all, it's literally this little piece right here between her hair and her hand. Even that looks like it's too far forward. Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to see that at all. I mean, you would just assume she has another earring on the other side if you can't see it. I don't need to add it. Doesn't need to be like forced into the perspective, so we'll just go ahead and erase that one out entirely. I feel like it drops a bit of like the gold balance off, but unless I move her ear, it just wouldn't show. Alright, so and then I've got, oh, this is the last bit that was bugging me here. It's her hand. I feel like she should have some like I can't decide if I want to give her nail polish or not, or nails. I feel like I should. Alright, so it does... Alright, I'm looking at my hand right now trying to figure out... Oh, the thumb would relax right there. That's basically right. I think it's because the rest of the fingers are... The rest of the fingers are bent, so I'm trying to make sure. Alright, so I liked this one. I like the shape of the other one, so I don't think I really need to fix anything with the hands. I'm just trying to double check that there's... I think I took a rough picture for these, because they're actually really good. Maybe I didn't. Maybe just the one? I don't know. I've been real good with hands lately. Those are usually a real big struggle, but I've actually been doing pretty good with them. And Ninetails are just so fluffy. I feel like I'm missing out not giving her some, like, some floof. I was kind of looking at how Ninetails' design is over here. So I feel like the things I've incorporated so far are definitely like the eye color, the face shape is alright, and I got like the hair going, the ear shape's good. But I haven't given her any like chest floof. And that's one of my favorite things about the Ninetails is how she's got the like mane. I just don't know if it'll look okay or if it'll look weird if she's got like a fur shawl of her own fur. I like fluff, so can't fuck it. You cannot judge me for trying. I like fluff. I have to try to make more fluff if I can. Alright. I don't think I hate it. We'll see how it looks after I shade it. Alright, and the last thing I'm trying to figure out is something with her face. Do I like... Maybe that's the... Sure, nose be just a bit smaller. Alright, so... I don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe there. It's a good, good philosophy moment. I think a lot of people, especially when they watch really practiced artists, think that somehow We just like magically know what looks good. And sometimes we do, but it's usually because we've spent a long time experimenting with stuff to find out what does look good. And you just kind of have to let some stuff look weird and not be the best, because eventually you'll start putting together more and more stuff that looks how you want or is in the style you're trying to capture, and that's kind of how you refine that. But you have to get through doing stuff wrong and having it look weird or do stuff you don't like. Or I don't know, her face has been alright and her foot's been alright, but it's been bugging me for a minute that I'm not sure what about it I want to adjust or change. But I just kept going with the whole piece and went, I'll rework it, like, in the end when I have a better idea how everything else looks. And, you know, it just, like, takes the pressure off, I think. Like, everyone's like, oh, everything I make has to be amazing, or it has to be perfect, or, like, somehow the first go has to be flawless. And we're not like that. That's not how art always goes. So just take time and enjoy the process. And one day you will be surprised at how easy stuff comes out. I have like a rough idea of stuff in my head. I can see stuff pretty clearly in my brain. Like, I can formulate fairly detailed images of stuff I'm familiar with, like the whole example of an apple. If I think of what an apple looks like, I can pretty clearly like envision the different parts of an apple, and the more I think about it, and like the more recent of an example of an apple I've seen, the better off my my drawing of it or my representation of it would come out. But when I try to draw stuff, so like an apple, sure, whatever. It's like still life is one thing. I'm impressed because people who have the ability to produce art that is extremely like photorealistic that's a good skill. Like, it's incredible to be that good. And I was headed in that direction when I was younger. I was drawing stuff that was incredibly on its way to being lifelike. But it was not that difficult, quote unquote. I'm not trying to put down anybody who draws real life stuff. I'm just trying to use words to convey an idea. But I didn't find it that difficult to draw a concept that was right in front of me. Compared to trying to come up with something on my own. And you have to use those realism skills to learn how to make stuff come out of your head, more or less. So it's kind of, you need to use both. Even if you're doing a cartoony style, you still are going to improve faster or maybe have a better understanding of certain things just by doing anatomy studies to make sure that, you know, you are referencing stuff correctly. Okay, so I want to have any more of her hair over here? Probably something back here in the shadows. But anyways, I lost myself on a tangent there, but my point was that when I'm trying to draw stuff realistically, it's not too hard if I have references, and I definitely utilize that to influence my drawing. Working with references is very key in just improving yourself art-wise, but oh no. I'm trying to think too hard. It's so hard to split my attention and talk while I'm drawing. I will take a lot of these, and I'm going back through and turning some of these into more digestible videos that I will be releasing down the line. But scripting stuff can be kind of hard and stuff can be hard to convey. So I like trying to find my own explanations of it naturally instead of trying to force it and have it feel so scripted. So I will put my thought on the paper. That way I can remember what I was rambling about. How about that? We gotta adapt. I can't stop losing my tangents, but I can start writing them down so when I do get lost, I have an idea. So basically, I used to try to put what was in my head down on paper and try to make everything photorealistic and try to do what was in my brain. But I felt so put down by how far off what I would make was from what I wanted to make. Like, just being able to see something in your head and then that frustration of feeling like you can't replicate it, that's enough to shut down a lot of artists or people. Like that emotion and that feeling of failure when you're just, you know, really struggling to capture that. And I understand that frustration. So even though I can visualize stuff very well in my mind's eye, I tend to just go with the flow on the paper with maybe a vague concept in mind, but it keeps me from trying to shoot for that imaginary perfection. And honestly, yeah, I would say that like over the last several years, the more I've done it, the more I've just drawn stuff and gotten through the process of finishing things, I've actually gotten better at being able to kind of take a snapshot of I'll treat it more like a thumbnail than maybe my final aim. But through that, I've been able to slowly push myself to grow and do more. And like right now in my brain, so I've been sitting on this picture, right? I've had no idea what to do with the background, but in my brain, I've tried to kind of work something out. So now that I kind of have something already on my paper, right? I've got Mollie already existing here. So I can try to look at what I have already in my mind's eye and basically Photoshop in my brain where I want to take it. And that gives me a much better result than just having this wild image in my brain that's beyond my skill level so far. And I'll keep chasing it and I will get there eventually. But for the time, I just have to be able to like root for myself where I'm at. And you'll cheer yourself on, and encouraging yourself will usually get you further than just being cruel. And like, that's not to say, you know, you shouldn't accept any critique or look at stuff critically, but I think you can look at stuff critically and want to improve without being cruel to yourself while you're doing it. And that's where I think a lot of people get the demotivated art feels from, is by being cruel to themselves. It's the attitude of my art sucks, I'll never be good, or, you know, oh, I can't this, or, and it's like, no, like, you just got to give stuff time. And if you don't have the time and the ability to draw constantly to get to the state that some artists get, that's okay. But it's also amazing to make art at whatever skill level you're at, because it's uniquely yours. It's a blend of things you enjoy about the world that you have put together in this collage of your soul and spat out to share with the world. Like, it's awesome. Art is so cool, and anything I can do to encourage people to make it, I am on my quest in this lifetime to to do so. Yeah, Peaches. I'm not sure why we named him Peaches, but I love him. Peaches is my druid. I'm playing a druid in Baldur's Gate. That's all anybody should need to know. Need to play cat people and give me a laser pointer. Oh no. A party full of tabaxis? Yes, a cat-themed one-shot. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna have a cat-themed one-shot. There will be expensive toys in one corner and boxes in the other. Instead of chests being mimics, it's just boxes. All right, I like the flow of the curl in the background, but I don't like where the tail connects to doing it that way. All right, so that's what I'm trying to do, is make stuff flow good. Maybe this is two tails. How do you fit 9 tails on one butt? Good God. It's the kind of problems I was put on this earth to solve, damn it. How many tails can we put on one butt? Let's find out. So far we've got 2. I like that better. So what I really want to do is ultimately have maybe some kind of like sunlight or something. It's been really sunny and I don't know. I need something bright and sunny in my art too. I don't know. Fuck. I just want some cool lighting. Like, okay, real. This is such a good drawing. I'm so happy with it, but I feel like it needs just a bit of like environmental lighting and it would be perfect. But I don't want to do so much that I make it impossible for myself. All right, so it would be like, so this would be the lighter areas, I guess. But it would actually let me kind of get some parts and highlights and shadows, at least on this part of her here. All right, so try hard brush instead. Do that really bright. I'm gonna do an erase, kind of clear out all this where I don't feel like it would be getting as much. Maybe we should make this one blue too. I'd rather fuck around like this and play around and see what I want to do than paint on the final layer and be like, well, that's not what I meant to do. Oh gosh, all right, thank goodness. It is really warm out today, warm enough I'm having to run the AC, and it's across the house from my office, so I was late to streaming because I was trying to get the airflow actually coming this way, and good news, it's finally cooling off in here. The Battle for Cardboard Mountain. I think that should just be the fucking title. That's it. That's the whole dang thing. Battle for Cardboard Mountain, the Tabaxi quest. Hold on, where's my sticky note? I literally have a giant roll of labels. I guess they were going to get rid of them because they didn't use them for anything. Somebody ordered the wrong color labels, so my partner brought them home from work because they were throwing them out. And they're bright green. He's like, I thought you might want these. I'm like, yes! So I just write D&D notes on them and I throw them in a jar. So if I need ideas, I just have this giant jar full of green sticky notes and D&D ideas. It's fabulous. All right, Battle for Cardboard Mountain, Tabaxi quest. Man, biggest tip, if you have a good idea, write it down. You won't remember it. So if I remember stuff, I have another pile that's fucking art ideas, because I won't remember them 10 seconds later. Ooh, you know, that might be a fun Wednesday stream. Pull something out of my art jar and do it. I have a whole jar of ideas. What if I used them? Gasp. All right. We've got 2 tails. Where else? All right. I do think having some sort of like background breakup, like with the sky, is really good. Quick sticky note it. Sticky note the idea. The sad part is it's on like 3 lists. I haven't been able to. I've only just started streaming on YouTube though. Not too well, not just, but you know, fairly recently. So we're still getting into it. There's time. First we'll finish Mollie. Alright, so that's that one. That's technically 3 tails I've drawn. They're not really. But what if this one goes? Ah, but I like the way it shadow went. Ooh. I feel like we should have 1 tail tip here though. And it should wrap somewhere around this way. Maybe? Just trying to work with like shapes I already have going. See if they work, and then we'll go from there. Because once I have this planned out, I should be able to just kind of truck on through this. She's close to done. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't know. This looks kind of wonky. Like that, maybe. Let's go down here, and then that would actually mean I want this, I guess, to be blue in this corner. Which would give a little bit of... Oops, not blue. I want it to yellow. There we go. A little bit of light over here. So I'm like basically thumbnailing stuff halfway through my sketch, which is probably not the best way to do it. But I also would rather start than like wait for stuff to be perfect. And I'm super happy with this. It's kind of a fun challenge to fill in the background. So that's 4 tails. We have 5 more to go. I think maybe she can be like sitting on 2 or something. Have some come down this way. Or like, ooh, wait, what if she's like on them this way? Does that work? Or does that look weird? Does that translate? Wait, does she have... Does she have 9 prehensile tails? What am I doing? She does now. That'd be kind of terrifying. That's like Ninetails as a, like a psychic Pokemon. Just like all Ninetails that can like move on their own. I kind of like that. Well, Ninetails is just a tentacle monster now. Sorry. Don't make the rules. Alright, so... I don't know whether or not this will work. ahead and color the tips in so I can see how that'll look. I don't know what color we're doing them. We might do them rainbow. I might just do them like a reddish orange. So we'll see. We're gonna try stuff out till we find something that works, cause I guess that's that. I just roll around and collect stuff till it looks good. Same way I dress myself. I'm like, I like this part. Okay, what do we add to it? There's been a few times I'm like, is my outfit weird? I'm like, nah, it looks good. And like I've gone out. It was actually the last time I got my hair cut. Which I won't be doing again. I got such a bad haircut. I was so sad for like 3 weeks. I just cut it myself. I was like, all right, it's fixed. But I went in to get my haircut fixed and I was like, yeah, it's just like, it was really bad. Like for me to go back to have somebody fix my haircut, it was really bad. At the same point, on the back of my hair at the top of my head, it was a 1/4 inch longer on one side than the other, like noticeably. I was like, oh, all right, I'm going back. I never pay for haircuts, and the one time I do, it was pretty... They were like, I was trying to get a haircut when I could because I don't have my own vehicle, so I borrow one. And so I had to work with when I could borrow the car when my partner got home. And that's apparently when everybody else was going for haircuts. So I picked like the worst time to get a haircut, and I definitely got kind of a rushed cut. So I was just like, bleh. But I went back and the lady was like, oh, sorry, you know, I guess whatever, you know, it's hair. Like, I'm not gonna flip out, but I would like it trimmed to match length, please. And the lady was like, so what do you do for a living? And I'm like, I'm a freelance artist. And she goes, oh, you look like an artist. Or you walked in and I thought you looked like an artist. That makes sense. I was like, what do you mean? I think I dress weird. It's the only thing I can deduce from telling somebody that they dress like an artist is that, like, not necessarily that I dress bad, but that it's definitely quirky. So I've just been going even harder into it. I'm like, whatever, if the colors and the patterns work and it looks good, I'm just gonna wear it. So I must be a trendsetter. All right, let's see. We got another tail right here, maybe. I feel like she'd maybe be sitting on at least 2 tails. One for each cheek. It would be fun if they were rainbow colored, because then each tip would definitely be a different color. But it might be hard to tell that they are like cohesively all her tails. I wanted to make this into a sticker, but how the hell do I do that with like this huge massive tails? Just make a giant stick. She's like a 9-inch sticker, 1 inch for each tail. I don't know. Oh, her arm's right here, right? Yeah, she's got her arm resting. So let's do her arm resting on a tail. Do some floofy here. Yeah. I want so many tails they can just become my couch at any moment. Like, I need to sit down, and you just like lay on the queen bed that's just like growing off of your tailbone. The sticker of tails. All right. This one come around the front, maybe? That would mean it's coming up like this and around like that. I don't know if that works. That might throw off the flow. Yeah, that does. I hate it. Go! Undo! Let's try again. Alright, let's get a count going. I've got 1. I can't read that shit. Let's try again. Take 2. I want to make more layers because I can't fucking keep track of them. I only have so many brain cells and 9 is too many. Alright. We'll do, there we go. Purple stands out. 1, 2. This sucks. There we go. Using the right brush. 2. This is number 3. Or it could be a gap of blue. How does that look? I don't know if that actually works. This would be... It does kind of break up the whole, like... Ooh, no, that might not... What do you think? Should I... Tail? Or empty space? Oh, that should... It has so much more depth. Because it's basically that, or it's going to be the color of, like, the darker parts of her tail, so it would be... Yeah, it's way better blue. Alright. Heck, we're doing it. Hang on. I had to cough. And then I just choked on my spit. I need 1 moment for technical difficulties, but with my body, not with the computer. All right. We are back. Let me see. So I'm gonna keep playing with the blue for a minute because I like that too, Deathlight. The empty space looks a lot better. Play with some negative space here. So I actually feel like then this tail piece would be down a bit more. That one goes up and behind. Fine with that. Kind of want to stick some down here. I forgot I still had the AC. I still had the AC unit running in the other room, so it's nice and cool in the living room. I turned it off and adjusted the fans again, so hopefully it will keep cooling off in here. I can feel the walls behind me and to my side like radiating the heat from outside. How hot is it outside right now? It is 91 degrees and the sun is on my room. Yeah, it's a bit toasty. All right. So we'll see. If I don't finish Mollie on stream today, I don't know if I'm doing it. I might have to just do it offline because I'd like to wrap this up and start working on some other stuff. But I feel like we deserve a conclusion to the story. Alright, so let's try working with some of the negative space and seeing if that helps me place some of the tails. So let's see if we can put maybe like another chunk of negative space over here. Oh, that looks weird. Got more tails coming from down here, maybe. Alright. See about trying a tail there. And oh, let me save. Yeah. Alright. I had no idea what we were doing with these tails. I called my mom. I was like, I have about an hour before stream. And so I called her while I was setting everything up. And then, of course, I have everything set up and I try to start stream on time and chaos ensues. So it's like until I hit start stream, I don't know if everything's working yet on YouTube yet. I'll get there. It functions differently than like any of the other streaming platforms I use. So we're getting over the growing pains. So pardon me while we do so. Oh shit, that's that layer. Aha. Alright, so let's see. Finished labeling these guys here. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, I freaking labeled them while the canvas was flipped. That's adorable. Alright. 2, 3. Well, no, actually. Because this one's also number 1. And this is number 3. This is tail 4, and this is tail 4. That's tail 5, which is different than this, so this is tail 6. So we got 3 more tails. Alright, I don't have to stuff all of them in if it doesn't make sense. But if there's somewhere where it makes sense to put one. Alright, so I'm going to keep all of those intact. I'm going to make yet another layer. See if we can find something for these last 3 tails, so. Oops, wrong shade there. Let's try to knock all this down so I can see what's going on. All right, and then I was gonna try to do a tail that goes here. And then these ones were, well, I guess we kind of end here. We'd have one there, and then let's see. She needs some back support. I almost want to have her tails end in like total swirls, but that takes away a lot of the extra shape that you kind of get. The pointed tail gives a bit more. It doesn't mean I can't. Oh, that's why it looks weird, because I'm using a pen, not my brush. Do. Just like trying stuff till I find what I like. This is what's fun. It's like exploring. It's interesting though, because like when I'm doing commission work and such, I definitely feel a bit more stressed. So doing something for myself like this is pretty nice. I think I'd like to make this one bigger. And I'm just kind of mostly focusing on the negative shapes that I'm creating and trying to look at what I want to fill in with the blue. So I'm trying to bring this in, and I'm getting rid of that part there, but it still has these two spikes breaking up the figure. And then I'm gonna add stuff over here, because like, let's have a quick brief explanation here. So one of the main things to like remember when you're trying to keep stuff interesting is you want to break shapes up. So if she's got a tail here and I'm putting in a second tail here and it goes like that, like this is fine, but when you look at the profile of it, it's really blobby and boring. Like let's make a duplicate layer and I'll fill it in. So this is what you get when you make the silhouette. And it just kind of turns into a giant blob. And your brain kind of reads shapes this way subconsciously when you look at stuff. So the way to then make this more interesting is to take basically the two same shapes, but you're going to try to extend this one so it breaks past this line right here. And what that's going to do is add a lot more interest to your silhouette. And that's the other thing I'm going to play with angles and shapes because that's what I like to do. That's part of my style. So instead of having a smooth edge right there, I'm going to kind of see about making it like a little bit hooked in a sharper angle there. And then what I want to do with this one is maybe I'll make it go up a little bit more, bring it in just a little bit tighter, and give like just an ever so slight gap right there, right? So now I'm gonna hide this other layer. Oops. Let me grab the rest of the pieces for it. We'll do that. Get a complete drawing going. So again, I'll just kind of add a little bit of maybe an angle to that. So now if I go ahead and I fill this one in, this is kind of the shape that I'm looking at. So I'm working with these conical tubes. Sorry, I just made myself cough. The conical tubular shapes, go with it, of the tails here. But like, you can tell it's so much better what you're looking at. Like, you might read this as 2 tails, even if you don't have any other context clues. These shapes give you a much more defined and interesting silhouette than these do. Oops. So if there's a good explanation of what I'm trying to do with her tails and trying to make the background interesting, this would be the explanation of like the mental math artistically behind it. So I'm trying to find shapes like this and figure out how I can make them look more like this so that overall my image looks good. And so when I've got something like 9 of her tails, I'm gonna have some chunkier blocks like this, but I still want to make sure I find the cool parts to accentuate and break up the shape. So there you go. Oh no. There we go. All right. That is the that's the power of silhouettes. All right. So let's play with some of the shapes I've got going here by filling some of this in blue. I think this is actually quite a bit more interesting. Oh, because it's a highlighted layer. I think it's way more interesting than just having giant chunks of it everywhere. Let's see. So this is number 6. This is number 7. Don't know if it makes sense to try to put the other 2 in. Or dip them somewhere in the background. I don't want to make 3 tails down there though. That's this one coming up the opposite way look good. Kind of. It's better to obscure and leave stuff out if it's gonna be too much to include it, but at the same time, it's if you are doing this on traditional, it gets a lot harder to just like play around with stuff. Once you put something down, you know, best you can usually do is grabbing a scratch paper and trying to kind of test out, you know, maybe you're doing mixed medium stuff and you want to see if you can lay a gel pen on top of a certain ink without the gel pen reactivating the ink and absorbing it in. I found sometimes I've spent a lot of time highlighting stuff only to find out that the gel pen I used or whatever I had tried to utilize basically just backfired. Alright, hang on one second. Alright, so yeah. I think I'm good with this. The only other one maybe I would think is trying to put 8 like right duplicated right behind 7, so you wouldn't really see it much. Alright, I'm just gonna play around with this real quick, see if I like it, and then we'll go ahead and translate all this to the final painting. Get rid of this. Is that all the stuff? Yeah. No, it's not. Okay, cool. Oh, that's right, it's on the sky. Try to clean this up. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna keep this as like my map for later. But I think... we're there. So I'm gonna put all of the tails on one layer here. What? Oops. Oops, wait, shit. This is my worst habit. I forget to put everything back up at max capacity or max opacity before I merge it. Because once you merge it, it will just keep it at whatever opacity it was merged at. So I mess up that a ton. So word of the wise, bump your opacity all the way up and then merge your layers. All right, so this is actually a way more interesting background than she's had so far, so I'm really excited. Let's put... Alright. Actually, I like it when it's like not at... I like this base one when it's actually not at full opacity. But I'm gonna continue working this way, and then I'll come back through. It's because she doesn't have any like environmental lighting on her, really. Yeah. So I'll come through and I'll bring that together. Yeah, I like this. I like this. All right. So, let's see. Some of the first things I was going to try to fix here was seeing if making her face. What's going on here? There we go. Saucy computer. Let's see. So, gonna take the brush and what am I doing here? Let's let's duplicate because I'm just gonna fuck it up if I can't control Z stuff. So there's my original saved on a backup, and I will save this as well. Hey Zay, how's it going? All right, so I think everything's tidied up. This is so good. Every time I'm like, I'm gonna finish this stream, and I'm like, oh, but this is so good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. Because I want to see if it works to like. Her nose on this layer? No. Ah. Where is it? There we go. Like I do think making her nose smaller will help. Alright, so go back here. Let me see about maybe alright. Got something I'm trying to like accomplish in my head, and the struggle is real. Alright. So I want to bring that up. And actually, where's the blue? Back here? Yes, I want to erase this. Because I would like to see the fur underneath. And then we'll try this out too. Oops, I don't have to erase the blue there. Alright. I'll come back and clean stuff up at the end for where the edges are. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab the darkest shade for her here, and that's where I'm just gonna start on the tails. I don't know what color I want to do the tips. I'll save them till the end. We'll just do them on top like an overlay. That's fine. It's the magic of digital art. I shall embrace it, yeah? Too indecisive. Alright, so I feel like the light's coming from two places, basically. We've got some backlit light, and we've got some front lit, so... Oops. That's right, we're all on the same layer here, so I gotta be a little bit tidy. So I haven't completely done... I cleaned up the edges on her arm, so I had a clear boundary, but I haven't finished her hair yet because I know I'm gonna come through and do all the stuff around the edges. So when the tail is done, then I get to go back and finish the hair. That's why I was bonking myself for working on the hair too much last stream. I really, really like shading hair. Now that I used to hate it. It took me a long time. But once I realized hair is chaos, and the more you try, the worse it looks. And the less you try, the better it looks. And then you just kind of refine the scribbles. You want to know what is proof of that theory on this page right here? Holy crap. I was struggling and all I did was just rage scribble. And the best part of this picture that I love the most is this wrinkle in the jeans right here. And all it was just a scribble, and it happened to be lined up in the right spots. It just worked, and I'm like, it looks good. But I sat there and I drew it like 3-4 times, and I was just like, it's not looking right. I can't get this to look right. And I was just like, grr, and I scribbled, and I was like, wow, that looks incredible. So I kept it, but yeah. You know, is a leopard beautiful? Yeah. Are its spots perfect? Heck no. It's nature. It's chaos. There's some patterns to it, there's rhythm, but none of it's perfect, nothing falls in line. So unless your character has like hair that's gelled in place, they're likely to have some chaotic strands. Alright, so let's see, we'll do, here we go. Push this out. Kind of just start really forming her tails out in the background just by, all I'm doing is roughly applying highlights where I think it would be getting more light either from the front or the back, and then the shadows where I feel like the shadows will fall the most. And I'm gonna come back in and clean stuff up. So I'm not trying to make stuff perfect. I'm even gonna use a different like textured brush so that it looks more like fur. I just kind of want to see where I want the highlights to fall, how bright or how dark I want the tails to be, to feel like they're either pushed further in the background or maybe I don't want them to take too much attention away from Mollie. So this is fun. Alright, I don't know what's underneath here, so... But this should all be pretty shadowed in from her sitting on it. And then this should be shadowed in because it's further in the back. And I need to cover up whatever else I had going on before. And these are two separate layers here. And some of this is just like her tails are the background, so this doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to be able to rough out what they look like. I think I'm using a different shade though. Yeah, I've been using the wrong shades for the shadows. That's alright. Sometimes it's really nice to have some variation in tones. I just want to make sure that I have got for sure. That was the one I grabbed from her neck here that I was using. I have something under her outfit maybe. Oops. There. Alright, so there. I'll just go in and apply this. Alright. Don't I have a color palette somewhere? Yes, yes I do. Alright. Let's just scoot this to the corner though, because I don't need it too much right now. I just need it. I don't need it, I just need it. Alright, so... now I've got the other thing about having a color key like this is if I drop the opacity for the background, I can still like select the correct colors to shade with, so Let's see. I just want to take this now and try to just get the outline of the tails mapped out. So that one's a solid one back there. It's the base of this one. Oh god, don't go over the foot. The foot still is there. It's on the same layer. I find when I work with like too many layers, I get stuck in that perfectionism trap, so it's just helpful to me. But there's some people who paint on a ton of layers. They just want everything separate, so if they need to go adjust stuff, it's there. And sometimes I'm like that with commission work, you know? But when it's painting for myself, I really just like doing stuff on one layer, or doing stuff on maybe a second layer and then merging it. But I don't know how to actually get the layers to blend with each other if they're not on the same, or the colors to blend with each other if they're not on the same layer. So I find that when I work all on one layer, I can get the stuff to blend and feel more cohesive, versus when maybe oh, nope. Error 404, thought not found. Gosh dang it. We were so close. Sorry, I'm super focused on trying not to mess up my underdrawing. Let's see, I'll drop her. No. Alright, 1 second. I need some tea, so I have something like warm, so it helps with talking, but unfortunately it's so hot, I don't think I can do tea. Oh shit. So that looks cool. I did that on accident. I just turned the sketch layer to multiply and I'm like, I like this. Alright, if I try darken. Alright, so let me see. I need just a moment to stop and like process what I'm doing next. So we've got all that there. I'm loving the shapes that we have going on in the background with the blue. I think I like the smaller koi smile too. So so I think this tail would actually mean this isn't there. Yeah. Alright. This is super fun. Whoops. I was gonna say, what the hell is this? Alright. I don't know if I want to erase all this, but I kind of do. I'll keep track of where stuff goes. Nah, alright. Keep it together. I think there's a lot of times when people are like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? When they see an artist do like incredible stuff, and they don't understand when the reply is, I don't know. But you just kind of get lost in the flow of things, and sometimes stuff works and you just try stuff out till it does or it doesn't. And then you're like, oh no, how did I do that? Picking up work from like months ago trying to finish something, I'm like, what was I even doing? That's the real trick. Oops. Doesn't help to have that there. Somewhere where it can get obscured. Alright, so let's just keep going. Got this here. I think most of this should just be really blotted out, because this is where we've got the least light coming in from both the back and the front right. So we've got tail down here. I'm still trying to, I think I'm just going to paint the sky in over top. I don't really see a point to potentially messing up the background by doing it on the same layer. So I'll just see how it goes. Alright. So want that one nice. Okay. So now I'm gonna take this one, I'm gonna take my lighter color, and I'm just gonna kind of come through and re-outline some of this, so kind of just translating my sketch that way, I suppose. Those are pretty well defined. That's supposed to be like that. I don't know if I can manage. Would this just like be, I guess it would just be fur, huh? Alright. So we want to travel with the grain of the fur. I'll come play around with the shadows and stuff more later. But I feel like most of this is actually probably pretty shadowed, so call this good for now. Actually, I'm really feeling, I just really like this thick paintbrush. Alright, so I don't know if that actually reads as the tail it's supposed to be, but, you know, as long as it looks like a tail. It'll just look like the missing ninth. Alright, so I am paying most attention to stuff over here and how it looks in the smaller window than I am over here. In my head, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna romance the barbarian in Baldur's Gate. Also, that might be my next cosplay. Oh my god, I'm gonna start saving up for some red body paint one day. But I'm pretty sure I have materials to make almost everything for her stuff. I would just have to save up for like body paint and maybe a wig, which is not too bad in the grand scheme of things. I can't do colored contacts though. Got a big can't deal with the stuff in my eyes. So like, I don't know. Everyone's like, oh, you get over it. I'm like, I literally have nightmares about putting contacts in. It's not so much about putting them in. I feel like it's getting them back out that I would have the struggles. Then again, I get eyelashes in my eye and I manage to fish those out because it really fucking hurts. So imagine if I had to, I could do it. I don't know. I do feel like colored contacts might be the way to go, but you got to make sure you have the right fit for your eyes. So I feel like if you don't have a prescription, like, you shouldn't use them because you don't know what fit. Like, you can fuck up your corneas if you don't have the right fit and stuff. So not something to fuck around with. And I can't really afford a contact appointment just for cosplays. Although nightmares where I break my glasses are an occurrence. So like on those, it would be nice to have like contacts, so if I broke my glasses I could still work and draw without, you know, stressing about it. But I'm like trying to get a backup pair. I'm saving up for a backup pair, so if these ones go, I'm not screwed. My insurance actually did a thing where I might be able to get a free pair of glasses. I just have to have my prescription, so I think I'm gonna try to take advantage of that. I just still have to get a prescription. Alright, so I like this. I'll come back and refine stuff after I get the sketch layer gone. But for right now, I'm just trying to define where the brightest spots are and where the ones in shadow are. Oops, grabbing the wrong one. I also think I started using different shades or something before I got to where I'm at, because some of this does not match the other tone, so I don't know what's going on. But I'm gonna figure it out. Alright, so should also be fairly bright. So many freaking tails. Oh my god. It's like drawing its own character, basically. Alright, so let's do this one. Trying to just highlight it. Bring it. Does this? Oh, I didn't actually go in here with the shadows, did I? Nope. Alright, let's do it. That one too. Alright, I probably want this right here to be the high point across her tails. There. And maybe like that. Because the light's coming over from this way. All right. Is it perfect? Probably not. But we're going. And I'm really enjoying this. I've actually been not really, it's been hard to find good inspiration to draw personal art. I feel like I should be working on commissions and stuff a lot, so it's just difficult to actually make art that's just for me anymore. Drawing. I still have like other artistic outlets that I utilize. So like, if I struggle to feel like, oh, I can't draw because I should be working if I'm drawing, or, you know, I'll go work on like painting a cosplay piece or something. So that's why I kind of have, like when I mentioned, I think I know, gonna do the barbarian from the Baldur's Gate 3. I'm like, okay, I'm also actually inspired, but it's between that and kind of want to make Kiora. I want a challenge. Like, I made Barbarian Zarya as my first cosplay, and like, you know, like I need a challenge. I need to be entertained. Alright, so let's see if I can... This one would be further behind than those. I don't know if you'd even be able to see that one. Gosh, so many tails, so many tails. I did not realize what I signed up for when I was like, let's draw a Ninetails. And like, Skuttz, it's in the name. Karlach is a really fun character. I've only just met her in the game I'm playing with Atlas. He's our Thursday DM, and I mean, we've been friends for like 8 years, so pretty pretty stoked to be playing Baldur's Gate together, because we've been D&D nerds for a little while. He's the one who talked me into turning Skuttz into a barbarian. So that I was like, oh, maybe, I don't know. I was like, well, what if you wanted to play Skuttz? I'm like, but there's no like unicorns or like what? And it's like, well, what if we made something? And I was like, let's smash a unicorn with an orc. Let's go. At least as far as stats go. I'll just hold on. Just wait. Just talking too much D&D now. That's all I wanna that's all I wanna do. It's fun though. It's a good thing to look forward to. It's nice friend time. It's a lot of laughs. It's usually the highlight of my week. And when we were playing Curse of Strahd, for some reason, I just was hit with like some muse. And all I did was draw my artificer like non-stop. Alright, let's see. I think I can get rid of the sketch layer now and just work on... Yes, perfect, see? It's rough, but we can keep shaping it. Gosh, there's so many flippin' tails. RPG gremlins, definitely. Definitely. RPGs are fun though. Alright, I'll go back to regular Skuttz. Okay. Oh, I just dropped my tablet pen. Dang it. Come here. Where did it? I dropped my tablet pen into an alternate dimension. BRB. I am forming a search party? I don't see it. F in chat. For my tablet pen. 1 second, hold on. I gotta like actually look. All right. It actually rolled pretty far. It was under my desk side bit. It got some mileage. All right. So oh no, where'd I just set it down? Not again. There we go. All right. So, back to the grind. Let's bring this all the way back up so I can see what the heck is going on. I really like this tone over here. I think, does she have something similar in her as well? Yeah. So, I do want to make sure I keep this. Some of these between spots. I don't want a ton of it because it's weird, like it's desaturated, but it looks, well, it looks good for the shadows, I guess. I don't know. We're just putting stuff everywhere till it looks good. Alright, so let's get rid of that. Let's go all the way. All right. Yeah, this basically just needs to start out as pretty shadowed. It's like underneath her. It probably should be one of the most deeply shadowed parts. So I'm just coming back in, and if I'm like, yeah, that should be darker, I'll just keep applying more until it looks about right. Like right here, I feel like it's too bright next to the end of her hair, so I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna darken all this up. There's no like layers changing anything in my way anymore. I've gone and kind of basically traced out the this is the weird stuff I don't want. It's like a pinkish tone. I think I actually selected from the sketch layer, maybe picked up some of that reddish tone from the like rough sketch itself. So we're just gonna, the bow's on its own layer, so I just have to worry about her tail and her ear. I'll just come back through. Because I don't mind having some of this. Alright. So, all right, so all right, so we're just trying to go. I don't want to like destroy her figure here because I would like to be able to maybe, like, if I want to make an alternate outfit for her later, it kind of gives me that opportunity to do so. Not sure. Basically trying to use the different tones to try to create a gradient here. Alright, so let's see. Got that. Oops, let's go back to our thick paint and blend some of what I've laid down here. Try to alright, so I like that a lot more. Yeah. Alright, so blended that part out. I'll just come up here and start doing the same. And I'll once again go back and like finish doing what I was doing with her paws when I'm done, so that I don't have to worry about like kind of messing them up right now. I just want to make big broad strokes that are going to flow with her tails and have that all look good. So that's my main focus. Alright, so just gonna keep going with this tail. Let's see how far we can get. I don't know if I'll finish. I really hate this. I just want it to be done. But this is actually a lot. The tails are quite the thing here. All right. So Alright. Just gonna define and blend. Define and blend. That's kind of what my painting style is kind of all about. So it works for me though, I like it. I've been having a ton of fun. Alright, so let's come in here with this. I really tried to make a break for it. It did. I had a vacation home picked out and everything. I actually think I found a plane ticket to Bailey's. I think it was going. It was going. Oh, see, I feel like these should be blue shifted actually. Ooh, I should. Good idea, me. Can I do it or will it ruin it? Ooh, no, that's, yeah. All right, yes. Get some variation in the, I love it. All right, put a little bit here. Normally blue shifts like apply to stuff that are way, way further in the background. So I don't want it to be too much. I don't want to use it on too many places, just on the ones that are like the furthest back. Just to give them that kind of appearance, because your brain will read stuff with that shift as like it's further away. I've started doing it, I'm like, ooh, but I have to be careful not to overuse it because then it looks weird, because stuff that's super close to you doesn't look blue shifted. So you're basically applying an optical illusion, but if you use it too much, then it's weird. I think that makes sense. I feel like this one will be further in the back too. And this one right here. I don't know if it works for this part, but I'll put in just a little bit. And I feel like I actually just want to grab something just a little bit deeper for the darkest parts in here. Just to like make sure that I can see the difference between the different tails. I'd rather come back in and lighten stuff back up, but make sure that the bold like base definition is there for me to build off of. Yes. All right. So I don't want to do too much of it, but I want to apply it kind of in the edges of where I just kind of made these ones look further back to kind of still keep their dimension there. I do feel like maybe the outer edge would catch more light than this inner edge. So, like this. And the best part, I can always come back and keep trying different stuff. So I'm just gonna keep on going here. I'm just gonna apply this, like I said, to the deepest parts. It's really weird. I think makeup tutorials actually have a lot, like specifically foundations or foundation application. There's a lot of overlap in that, and like if you were trying to paint like portraits or faces, where you're using high points and low points of contrast and highlight to create shapes to highlight like accentuate your face or change your face's shape with kind of like that optical illusion effect. It's very similar to kind of the mindset that I have when I'm painting, where you just want to bring in the deep shadows and the highlights and then blend them together over your mid-tone. There's so many different ways to do it. That's not the only way to do it. It's just how I like it. I used to start at the darkest tone and then add a mid-tone and then add a highlight, but I'm trying to steer away from that because I tend to make stuff way too dark, as I'm already kind of doing with this one. But I'll fix it up at the end, once everything's kind of done together. But I have issues where tablet and monitor are different in appearance. And it's a lot better with my updated tablet, but the habit I have of drawing with a darker contrast and a deeper contrast still lingers from 8 years using my 13 HD Wacom Cintiq, because my monitor was like a 10-year-old monitor, and it didn't have great color accuracy, and neither did the Cintiq 13 HD, so I couldn't trust anything I made. I had to basically check stuff on my phone or double check stuff on but yeah, no, my phone was actually it. So like I would send my commissioner an update from my computer, and then from my phone, I would click on the update to see how it looked on my phone screen. So I actually have some more, like, accurate screen color now. And I'm getting used to it. I don't have to shade as heavy-handed as I used to. All right, so... bring this up. All right, pants back on. Alright, this is not... Oh, because I'm using... Oh. Because I'm being a goofball. That's why. Like, why isn't this looking how I want? Because I'm not using the right tools. This is an incredible revelation. I don't have the right I should select this. Now it will do what I was hoping. Can't get a bright color from a mid-tone, which is where I was being a goofball. Alright. So I'm just trying to map out where I want the bright spots and where I want the shadows to be. So, yeah, not too bad. It's not too bad. Not sure how I want to do the background. I don't want to, existential crisis. Ooh. I really don't want to rush this. It's coming out so freaking good. I do have other stuff I would really like to be able to work on though, so if I don't get past it, we'll never get to those things. Let's see, I want to use my hair detail brush. maybe that's too much. Nope. Alright. Let's try this. Want it to look like fur. That's so bright though. Does that read as fluffy or does that read as mess? It just reads like a mess. There, that's better. All right. One day I might make a fur brush, but this is not that day. I've never actually been able to figure out how to make my own brushes. I've not had the time to like sit down and work out how to do it. I think it would be really cool. I could make some neat ones. All right, so let's see. Yeah, I can't make this too detailed or it looks too busy. All right. All right, I like it. I like it. Getting somewhere. All right. Holy crap. Okay, we're getting somewhere. These tails, there's so many tails. So much fluff. I said I liked fluff. Maybe I got in over my head. What do you think? Am I gonna be able to handle the fluff? I think that's too much fluff though. Let's reel it in a bit. Sorry, I'm quiet. I am using all of my brain cells processing what the heck fluff looks like and if this looks good or not. This is where I like having that variation in the undertones that I paint over because they come through in the shadows. I like it. I think it looks neat. No, don't like that though. Tempted to blur this spot. But I'm not sure just yet if that's what I want to do. Alright, so I'm going to some of this coming out same way. I don't want to do all of them at the same time because I don't want to like confuse myself on which tails are where. There's so dang many. All right, so I'm coming back up with my shadow. I'm gonna go back in with my highlight. I know there's got to be better fur tuft brushes. I haven't checked in a while. There might be some free ones. I actually haven't figured out how to use the Clip Studio store currency, but there's a ton of really neat brushes people also have available for purchase that way. But I'd love to make my own for stuff like buttons or buckles, just things I draw a lot of that would really help me out. Things like eyelets or laces too. I love drawing individual details, but it's really difficult for my wrist, so having brushes like that definitely helps. I just don't want these to look like giant strands of hair, because they're not, they're tails. So like just here and there I probably need to have a few spots that look like where the fur's maybe separating. Like just give a few spots where we get some fur texture in here. And go with some of what's already there as far as highlights and lowlights. Alright, so bringing this up. I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just kind of explaining to you, like, as I go through how I mean, I guess I know what I'm doing as much as anybody who is making art and playing around and trying new stuff doesn't know what they're doing. I know plenty, but I'm trying to explain to you the exploration process because painting digitally is fairly new to me. I've been doing it off and on for a few years, but it's still something that I am working on getting good at. I started playing Magic the Gathering in 2020, and I got actually sold on two things. I was like, I get to look at amazing art while we play a game, and there are freaking unicorns. So I have a unicorn-ish themed deck. It's getting to the point now where I'm just throwing unicorn themed cards in it for the heck of it, and I like it that way. But it really inspired me seeing a lot of the card art and just being able to, I guess, I found some of them on Twitter, and it's really cool. A lot of them show bits behind their processes or are really open about like different aspects about their process. And so to see that, you know, they spent thousands of hours on some of these things that were commissioned by Wizards, and like I'm like, okay, so if I don't spend 100 hours or 1,000 hours on this piece, you know, I can't begin to feel bad about my artwork skills because I just simply haven't even spent the time and studies and everything they did for that one piece to look the way it did. So it made me realize, I'm like, all right. And so I started doing some more like speed paints and stuff, but I usually keep myself to about an hour, and it prevents me from like overworking stuff or getting too caught up in details, but it also prevents me from ever spending more time on something and giving it real shine or polish in a way that, yeah, some of my stuff probably deserves. And look at me, I'm going to town on the fluffs here. Didn't know what I wanted to do, and then I kind of started to work out how I like the way they feel. I don't know if I want it to stay this detailed, but at the very least, I feel like it gives it a fur feel. Plus, it would be kind of fun to make sure that the tails have direction from the, like, the fur grain kind of tells you which way they're flowing. Alright, so I'm gonna drag this out and make like a shadowed underlayer. Don't know how I'm painting fur. I'm literal, like, I'm figuring shit out like right now on the spot. I've done some fur once in a while, but it's usually here and there or in little bits. Like, I don't usually spend a ton of time doing a lot of heavy detailing on it, so this is fun. I just don't want it to be too heavily detailed that it like draws too much attention. I also want to be able to use, like, this actually builds some volume and some shape to it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna need a whole nother stream just to paint her tails, damn it. Alright, so... She's so fluffy. I don't know if it's too busy or if I want to keep painting it. I actually don't know. Part of me is like, oh, that's too busy, Skuttz. Calm down on the fur texture, and the other parts of me is like, just no, let me add all the fur, my precious. Little gremlin in my brain screaming. Ooh, what do? Well, step one, I just want her to feel fluffy. Like, they're just so glorious and luxurious, right? Very pretty much wow. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so just trying to shape this out. It's all trial and error, and like if it doesn't look good, I just try something else. Although I feel like this upper spot was where I did it the best. So I just drag all this upwards then. And come back down. So I don't want to do it in like these weird little layers is what's happening. Like I don't want to give her tail stripes. I guess specifically where it kind of starts to all move in the same direction, it would break up less. No, I'm gonna smudge stuff around until I like the way it looks. Alright, so I feel like around the areas where curves is where we'd feel more of this, and also, whoa, that swung that too far. Okay. I'm just going through and adding some of this kind of undershading for little tufts of fur. Oh, that looks so bad right now. Trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. The panic sets in. I'm like, ooh. I don't know if this is gonna look good. I'm like, ah, nothing's cleaned up. I'm just trying to lay down some of the details on where I want it. I'm gonna come back through. Sure. So. There. Good. Oh no. All right. I'm so sorry. I think my brain's stopping to work. It's getting really hot in here. I don't feel like I'm thinking clearly. And the AC is not blowing the air nearly fast enough to combat the heat that is coming off the walls. I wanted to keep going till this was done. I really did. I don't know if I'm gonna... Ooh, no. Ah! I really wanted to finish this today. But everything just keeps coming out so good. Like her tail. I didn't think her tail was gonna be this awesome. All of her tails. Can I just erase this? The answer's yeah. Cool. So that's what I'll do with these parts then. Because that'll let me like just kind of I don't know, blend the edges as they need to be. Because I don't want to paint the blue on this and then, like, ruin it. But if I paint it behind, it gives me a little more wiggle to not destroy it entirely. So we'll see. We'll see. Alright, so here we go. And I'm just gonna probably put blue right behind. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Okay, so then this was all open, right? Yeah. I think so is this. Alright. I'll erase that in later more. But for now, at least I've left myself the roadmap to get where I want to go. Getting a call from Scam Likely. Why? It's so bad. I started ignoring calls from my doctor's office because I don't recognize the number. So I assume it's scam. And then, like, I've been trying to find a new primary care because I've moved. So I'm like, oh, let me just, you know, give them a call. So I left a voicemail. I was like, hey, yeah, give me a call back or email me or whatever. And they called me back, but it must have been one of the numbers I ignored. And then because I've gotten so many basically spam voicemails, I don't even, like, it's hard unless somebody I recognize is trying to contact me. Like, there's no reason to prioritize it because it's almost always just a spam call. So I've been trying to get seen by a new primary care provider and I missed them calling me back because I just assume any number that's not in my phone is spam because half the time I answer it, that's all it is. I'm like, oh no. I have started watching this one guy who like scams scammers or like trolls scammers, and it's so funny. I'm trying to think, what was it? He was like having somebody trying to help him with something and then like was spending money out of the fake account or whatever while the scammer was like, no. And then this other one, he just had him going through like these nightmare password reset type things, and it was just like a little bit of catharticness coming out of that, because it's really frustrating, especially because like I know better for the most part. There's not been one that I've heard that I'm like, ooh, is this one real? I'm like, all right, if they don't ask for me specifically, or if it's not somebody I'm basically waiting to contact me, I'm, you know, not calling them back. It's probably not an actual thing. Or if nothing else, it's not a thing that matters. But then it leaves me missing out on stuff that I should be double checking. And like normally I have my doctor's office in my phone so that if they call me, if they're calling me from that number or one of those numbers, it'll at least like, oh, I know them. But since I don't have a doctor's office yet, I don't know the number. I don't have one like set up yet, so I can't like make sure I have their office's numbers in my phone so that they come up as not spam until I actually have an office to go to. So, good times. Good times. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and fill the background in blue. Yeah. And then, let's see. I want to give some like cyan. Maybe. I just want it to be like a sky. Just enjoying the nice weather. I feel like there should be like something else. Her tails are just so massive. She's like in the fucking stratosphere right now. Just don't mind me. Giant tail god in the sky. I don't care. Even some sort of abstract bathroom background is pretty good. I love when my brain just totally it's like when you tell your dog to go get you a toy and they bring back like the totally wrong one. You're like, bring me the pull chewy, bring me the pull chewy, and they like bring over their snack ball and you're like, that's not what I asked for. All right, let's see. So can I do, I guess it would be a layer right here, and I want to do like a highlight. No, can't. I have to do soft, and then do add glow. Yeah. All right, and then I want to do this and kind of erase some of the shadowed area. Not something that would hit that. Probably get a little bit along the top of this. So that would be all right. Point to that is that's in shadow. Should be in shadow, and not all of this would catch that much light. Okay. Dry the highlights out a bit, and knock them down quite a bit. Wish it didn't affect the background. We'll work on it. We'll work. It's fine. To start. Alright, it is too hot, and I need to get some, like, cold water and get in the cold room. Gosh dang it. We got so many tails started today. I don't know. I gotta see if I even like the tails like this, but this, we'll see. We'll see. This might be the last Mollie stream, but I also don't know when I'd work on Mollie if I'm not streaming working on her, so. Dun dun dun. So I need to finish her. I need to figure out if I like her tails like that or not. If I want them to be fluffy and textured, or if I want them to be a little smoother so they don't take... But like when they're super smooth, they look weird. Like they look like conical tubes, whereas at least this looks like it's a fluffy tail. So I would like to walk the line between. We'll see. Maybe it'll be a surprise next week. I also don't want to burn myself out working on this, so we'll see. Alrighty. I think that's it for now. I gotta get cooler. I'm too warm, and I'm ceasing to be able to use my meat sponge to think appropriately. So, everybody take care, stay cool out there, and please be careful if you're in a spot where it's hot. You know, stay cool, stay hydrated, take care, and I will see you next time. Their streams will be resuming on, let's see, not this week but next week, and on Friday I'll be streaming Baldur's Gate on Twitch with my lovely druid Peaches. Alright, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye!